Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Hope that you will be enjoying your studies at home. Today I am again with another class for class 11th, and hopefully this will be the last topic of this chapter, that is kinematics. And our today's topic is projectile thrown from a ground. Yesterday we discussed a projectile when it was thrown from the top of the tower. So today we have to sit on the ground and throw it into air. So today's topic is projectile projected or thrown from the ground. Suppose that a projectile is fixed from, sorry, it is fired, it is not fixed, it is fired from point O. Suppose that the projectile is fired, it is fired here, remember this thing, fired from point O with a velocity, initial velocity u at an angle theta with the horizontal as shown in figure. Yesterday we gave the initial velocity u in the horizontal direction, but today the initial velocity u is making an angle theta with the horizontal direction, as you can see from the figure. Now, as we know, when a vector is neither in horizontal direction nor in vertical direction, then we have to resolve it into two rectangular components. One will be the horizontal component and the other will be the vertical component. So the horizontal component is ux. When we resolve u, as u is neither in horizontal direction nor in vertical direction, so we resolve u into two rectangular components, that is ux and uy. And you know that ux will be equal to u cos theta and uy will be equal to u sin theta. As you can see it from another figure that is here, we see that this vector u, it is neither in horizontal direction nor in vertical direction. It makes an angle theta with the horizontal direction. So we resolve this u into two components. One is ux and the other is uy, and you can see also from here we have resolved this u into two components. One is ux and the other is uy. The horizontal component ux remains constant throughout the motion of the projectile, as there is no acceleration acting on it. So it will remain constant throughout the motion. We cannot increase it, because if we want to increase the this horizontal component, we have to apply the force. So no force is acting in the horizontal direction, no force is pulling it backwards, no force is pushing it forward. So ux will remain constant throughout the motion of the projectile, as there is no acceleration, that is, there is no force acting on it. Because if we want to increase the velocity of the body, we have to accelerate it, and if we want to accelerate it, we have to apply the force. Now, what about vertical component? Now, vertical component uy changes as acceleration due to gravity g is acting on it. So when acceleration g acts on it, so it will increase, or if it goes upwards, it will decrease. So it will change. The vertical component uy will change because acceleration due to gravity g is acting on it in the vertical direction. The vertical component uy first decreases. It first decreases. Now, using the relation s is equal to ut plus 1 by 2 at square, the vertical distance y covered by the projectile, sorry, so it first the vertical component first decreases till it reaches the highest point A, where ux is equal to 0. Then the vertical component of the projectile increases in the downward direction till it reaches point B at the same horizontal level as O on the ground. Why vertical component of the projectile changes? Because acceleration due to gravity is acting on it. So what happens to it when it is thrown upwards? the vertical component first decreases till it reaches the highest point A on the A, where uy is equal to 0. So it is correction here, there uy is equal to 0. It is uy here. This is uy. There is a correction. So till uy is 0, then the vertical component of the projectile increases in the downward direction till it reaches point B at the same horizontal level as O. Now we will find out the path of the projectile. As in the last chapter we saw, the path of the projectile is a parabola. So here we will also see that it will be a parabola. Now the horizontal distance. The horizontal distance x covered by projectile in time t is given by horizontal distance is equal to horizontal component of velocity into time, because distance is equal to velocity into time. So horizontal distance will be equal to horizontal component of velocity into time. So that is x is equal to ux into t. Ux is the horizontal component of velocity and t is the time. So ux is equal to u cos theta. So x will be equal to u cos theta into t. So this implies t will be equal to x by cos theta. T will be equal to x by cos theta. Now using the relation s is equal to ut plus 1 by 2 at square, the vertical distance y covered by the projectile in time t is given by y is equal to uyt plus 1 by 2 at square. So y will be equal to u sin theta y is equal to u sin theta into t plus 1 by 2 into minus gt square. Now see here, it is in the upward direction. In the upward direction g is always negative. Remember this thing. In the upward direction g is always negative. In the downward direction g is always positive. If you throw anything upwards, then remember that. And if you want to find the value of g, it will have to be negative, because in the upward direction g is always negative, but in the downward direction g is positive. So it will be equal to y will be equal to u sin theta into x by u cos theta plus 1 by 2 into minus g x by u cos theta whole square. Because we have calculated the value of t, we do nothing, we substitute the value of t, which we have calculated from equation first. You can see from equation first, t is equal to x by u cos theta. So we substitute here, for t we substitute x by u cos theta. So y will be equal to u sin theta into x by u cos theta plus 1 by 2 into minus g x by u cos theta whole square. So y will be equal to x sin theta by cos theta minus 1 by 2 gx square by u square cos square theta. Well, sin theta by cos theta is equal to tan theta. So y will be equal to x tan theta minus 1 by 2 gx square by u square cos square theta. Let us denote this relation by equation 2. This is the equation of parabola. If you can see, it is a quadratic equation. So this is an equation of parabola. Thus the path of a projectile projected at an angle theta with the horizontal direction is a parabola. Now let us take another term, that is time of flight. What is time of flight? The total time for which the projectile remains in flight is called time of flight. When you throw it, then you see till as long as it remains in the flight, as it remains in the air, and till it reaches the ground. That time is called time of flight. So the total time for which the projectile remains in the flight is called time of flight. The time taken by the projectile to go from point O to the highest point E is called the time of ascent. Then the time taken by the projectile to go from point O, point A to the point B in the same level of the point O is called the time of descent. Ascent means to go up, descent means to come down. As you know, in ascending order or descending order, these words have been derived from those ascending or descending. So, what is time of ascent? The time taken by the projectile to go from point O on the ground to the highest point A is called time of ascent, and the time taken by the project to go from point A to point B in the same level of point O is called time of descent. So time of flight will be equal to time of ascent plus time of descent, because the project first goes upwards, then comes downwards. So upwards is time of ascent, downwards is time of descent. So the time of flight will be equal to time of ascent plus time of descent. So that will be T will be equal to T1 plus T2. As the motion from O to A and from A to B is symmetric, as you can see from the graph, it is symmetric, almost same. So therefore time of ascent will be equal to time of descent. That is T1 will be equal to T2, that both will be equal to T, for example say 5 seconds or 10 seconds. This implies T will be equal to T plus T, that will be equal to 2T. So small t will be equal to capital T by 2. Now using the relation V minus U is equal to AT, we get Vy minus Uy is equal to minus GT. At the highest point A, Vy is equal to 0, because the projectile comes to rest, almost rest, and then starts coming down. So at the highest point Vy, that is the vertical velocity of the projectile is almost 0. So 0 minus Uy is equal to minus Gt, which implies minus Uy is equal to minus Gt. This implies Uy is equal to Gt, which implies, as you know, Ux is equal to U cos theta. Similarly, Uy is equal to U sin theta. A cos theta, Ax is equal to A cos theta, Ay is equal to A sin theta. Similarly, Uy is equal to U sin theta. So this implies U sin theta will be equal to G, and when we substitute for small t that we have derived above, capital T by 2. This implies T is equal to 2U sin theta by G. 2U sin theta by G. So this is the time of flight. If you know the angle theta, if you know the velocity with which you have projected the projectile, with which you have thrown the projectile in, and the value of G we know that is 9.8, then we will be able to calculate time of flight. So time of flight, you just have to know the initial velocity U, because theta you can see from the graph how much theta is, or the angle you can calculate yourself. Now horizontal range. The maximum horizontal distance from the point of projection O to the point B where the projectile hits the ground is called horizontal range. It is given by OB is equal to R. Using distance is equal to velocity into time, maximum horizontal distance will be equal to horizontal velocity into time. So horizontal velocity is Ux. So R will be equal to Ux into T. This implies R will be equal to U cos theta into T by 2, because small t is equal to capital T by 2. So R will be equal to U cos theta into 1 by 2 into 2U sin theta by G, because we have in the above we have calculated the time of flight, capital T equal to 2U sin theta by G. So R will be equal to U square by 2G into 2 sin theta cos theta. So 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to sin 2 theta. This is the formula. 2 sin 2 theta is equal to sin theta plus theta, that will be sin theta cos theta plus cos theta sin theta, that will be equal to 2 sin theta cos. You can use this relation. So R will be equal to U square by 2G into sin 2 theta. This implies R will be equal to U square sin 2 theta by 2G. So horizontal range R is maximum if U square sin 2 theta by 2G is maximum. If RHS of equation 2 is maximum, then LHS will be also be maximum. So R will be maximum if U square sin 2 theta by 2G is maximum. And U square sin 2 theta by 2G will be maximum if sin 2 theta is equal to 1. Because you must remember this thing, The sine theta's value varies from -1 to +1. That is the minimum value of sine theta is always -1 and the maximum value is +1. You cannot have it cannot have value greater than 1 or less than -1. So the maximum value of sine 2 theta or sine 3 theta, whatever it will be, or sine theta, it is always 1. So sine 2 theta will be equal to sine 90 because 1 sine 90 is always 1. So sine and sine will cancel. This implies 2 theta will be equal to 90 or theta will be equal to 90 by 2, which implies theta will be equal to 44. So our maximum will be equal to u square sine 2 into 45 because theta we have calculated equal to 45 by 2g. That is our maximum will be equal to u square sine 90 by 2g, which implies our maximum will be equal to u square by 2g because sine 90 is equal to 1. Hence, to have maximum range, the projectile should be projected at an angle 45 degree with the horizontal direction. If you want that your projectile must cover a maximum distance, maximum horizontal distance, which we call a maximum horizontal range, then it must be projected at an angle of 45. If you increase this angle, then the projectile will not cover maximum distance. If you decrease this angle, for example 45 to 30 degree, then it again will not cover maximum distance. It will cover maximum distance only if it is projected at an angle of 45 degree. So if the angle is greater than 45 degree, the maximum range will be, for example, if you throw it at an angle of 90 degree, what would you expect? It will fall at the same level of the ground, at the same point where you have thrown it. You do it yourself at home, pick a stone and throw it vertically upward so that it makes an angle of 90 degree with the ground. Then what will you expect? It will hit the ground at the same time, so maximum range will be 0. So similarly, if you throw it uh, at angle of 30 degree, then it will be half of what it would cover at when we throw it at an angle of 45 degree. So this was about maximum range. Now maximum height. What would be the maximum height of the projectile? The maximum vertical height attained by the projectile above the point of projection during its flight, it is denoted by AC, is equal to HM. Using the relation v square minus u square is equal to 2as, we get y square minus uy square is equal to 2 minus g into HM. At the highest point, vy is 0 as we know, so 0 square minus u sine whole square will be equal to minus 2g HM. This implies 0 square minus u sine theta whole square is equal to minus 2g HM. This implies minus u sine square theta, u square sine square theta is equal to minus 2g HM. Minus and minus will cancel. This will imply HM. Maximum height will be equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. So again, you have, if you want to find the expression for the maximum height of the projectile, you have to know its initial velocity. What was the initial velocity which you had projected it, and the value of g or theta you know. Now two angles of projection for the same horizontal range. If you throw a projectile at an angle of 20 degree and another person throws it at an angle of 70 degree, then what would you expect? The maximum range will be same for both angles. The maximum horizontal range will be same for both. Similarly, if you throw it at 30 degree and another person throws it at an angle of 60 degree, again the maximum horizontal range will be same for both the persons. When a projectile is projected with velocity u making an angle theta with the horizontal direction, then the horizontal range r1 of the projectile is given by r1 is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. When a projectile is projected with velocity u making an angle 90 minus theta, remember this thing. That was why I told you 20 degree and 70 degree. So 70 degree we will get when we subtract 20 from 90. So that will be 90 minus 20. So the first person was throwing it at an angle of theta and the other person is throwing it at an angle of 90 minus theta with the horizontal direction. Then the horizontal range R2 of the projectile is given by R2 is equal to u square sine square 90 minus sine 290 minus theta by g. So it will be used to get sine 180 minus 2 theta by g, which implies R2 will be equal to use to get sine 2 theta by g, because sine pi minus theta is minus, sorry, it is correction here, sine pi minus theta is equal to sine theta. So it is not 2 theta, it is only sine 180 minus theta is equal to sine theta. So sine 180 minus 2 theta will be equal to sine 2 theta. From first and second, we see R1 is equal to R2. From equation first and equation 2, you see R1 is equal to R2. It means that if a projectile is projected at an angle theta is equal to 30 degree, and then at an angle theta is equal, theta dash is equal to 90 minus theta, that is theta dash is equal to 90 minus 30, that is theta dash is equal to 60 degree. At an angle of 30 degree and 60 degree, then its horizontal range will be same. Its horizontal range will be same. Similarly, if one person uh, throws it at an angle of 20 degree, then another person will have to throw it at an angle of 90 minus 20, that is 70 degree, so that the maximum horizontal range is same. So if tomorrow somebody asks you what are the two angles, or if the two angles at which a projectile is projected, uh, one of them is 20 degree, what is the other? You must tell him that it will be 70. If one is 30, then another must be 60. If one is 40, then another must be 50. Thank you. See you inshallah with next chapter tomorrow. Thank you very much.